The beginning of the end I was just a regular kid in high school. My name is Jake, and I'm 17 years old. I lived in a small town in California where everyone knew each other's business. I didn't have many friends, but I had a few good ones. We hung out at the local diner after school and talked about our dreams for the future, but there was one person who always stood in my way: Tyler. He was a year older than me and the most popular guy in school. He was tall, handsome, and had a way with words that made everyone like him. But I knew he was just a bully at heart. He would pick on anyone who wasn't part of his group, and I was always one of those people. Tyler had a special hatred for me. One day, he caught me talking to a girl he liked, and ever since then, he made it his mission to make my life miserable. He would spread rumors about me, mock me in front of everyone, and even physically assault me. I tried to ignore him, but it only made things worse. I remember the day everything changed. It was after school one day, and I was walking home when Tyler and his friends cornered me. They started throwing rocks at me, calling me names, and laughing at my expense. I tried to fight back, but they were too strong. That's when Tyler punched me in the face, breaking my nose. I went to the hospital that day, and I remember feeling so angry and hurt. I couldn't believe how much pain he had caused me, both physically and emotionally. I knew then that I needed to do something about it. I couldn't let him keep hurting me without consequences. Act 1. Setup and Nemesis. It was the summer after my sophomore year of high school. I was working at a local ice cream shop, trying to save up for college. It was a hot day, and I was serving customers when Tyler walked in with his friends. They all laughed and joked around as usual, but this time I had a plan. I waited until the shop was empty and then confronted him. "Tyler, you need to stop," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "You're hurting people, and it's not right." He looked at me like I was crazy. "Jake, you don't get to tell me what to do," he sneered. "I'll do whatever I want." That's when I knew I needed to take action. I couldn't just let him keep hurting me and others. So I started thinking about how I could make him stop. I thought about talking to the principal or the teachers, but I knew they wouldn't believe me. They always sided with Tyler because he was popular and well-liked. I needed a different approach. Act 2. Failed attempts, rising stakes, lowest point over the next few weeks. I tried several different strategies to stop Tyler. First, I tried to get him in trouble by reporting his bullying to the school authorities, but they didn't take me seriously. They thought it was just a phase and that he would grow out of it. Next, I tried to confront him directly again and tell him how his behavior was affecting others. But whenever I tried, he would just laugh and call me weak. He even went as far as to spread more rumors about me, saying I was trying to be popular by making him look bad. I also thought about getting a restraining order against him, but it seemed like too extreme of a measure for something that wasn't legally recognized as abuse. Every time I tried to take action, Tyler would come up with a new way to make my life harder. He started spreading rumors about me being gay, and even worse, he got a group of his friends to start bullying me too. One day, after he had physically assaulted me yet again in the hallway, I couldn't take it anymore. I went home and cried for hours. My parents tried to comfort me, but they didn't understand what it was like to be bullied every single day. They told me to toughen up and stop being a victim, which only made me feel worse. That night, I had a dream where Tyler and his friends were chasing me down the street with rocks and sticks. I woke up in a cold sweat, feeling more alone than ever before. The lowest point. It was the day of the school talent show. Everyone was excited to see their friends perform, but for me, it was just another opportunity for Tyler to humiliate me. He had already spread rumors that I was going to sing a song about him and make fun of him in front of everyone. I was backstage, trying to calm my nerves when Tyler walked up to me with a smug grin on his face. "So, you think you're going to make me look bad?" he sneered. "You're not going to get away with this." Before I could respond, the MC announced my name and I had to go out on stage. The crowd was buzzing with anticipation, but as soon as I started singing, Tyler and his friends began to jeer and shout insults at me. I tried to ignore them and focus on my performance, but it was too much. I couldn't take it anymore. In the middle of my song, I stopped singing and looked straight at Tyler. "This isn't just about you," I said, my voice trembling with emotion. "It's about all the people you hurt." Tyler just laughed and turned to his friends, gesturing for them to join in. The crowd started booing me, and I felt like I was drowning in a sea of hate. That night, I went home feeling more alone than ever before. I cried myself to sleep, knowing that Tyler had won this round. Act 3. Final attempt, climax, consequence. The next day, I woke up with a new determination. I couldn't let Tyler keep hurting me and others without consequences. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I started by reaching out to some of the other kids who had been bullied by Tyler. They were hesitant at first, but when they saw how serious I was, they agreed to help me. We formed a small group, and we all decided to speak up against Tyler's bullying together. We planned a meeting with the school counselor and principal, hoping they would listen to us this time. But when we went to see them, they just told us that bullying was a normal part of high school life and that we should learn to deal with it. That's when I knew I had to take things into my own hands. I started writing letters to the local newspaper, describing what Tyler was doing and how it was affecting everyone in the community. I didn't sign my name at first, but as more people came forward to support me, we all agreed to go public with our stories. One day, Tyler walked into school and saw a group of students waiting for him. They had posters and flyers about his bullying and were ready to confront him. I was one of the leaders of this group, and when he approached us, I stepped forward. "Tyler," I said, my voice steady but firm, "you need to stop this now. You're hurting people and it's not right." He looked at me with a mix of anger and surprise. For once, he didn't have an easy comeback. Instead, he turned to the crowd and started to leave. But then something unexpected happened. One of his friends stepped forward and said, "Tyler, we can't keep doing this. It's not who we are." More students joined in, and soon Tyler was surrounded by a group of people telling him to stop. It was a turning point for him. He looked around at all the faces staring back at him and realized that he couldn't keep bullying others and get away with it. The climax the next day, Tyler came to me and apologized. "I'm sorry," he said, looking genuinely remorseful. "I didn't realize how much I was hurting people." I was surprised but also relieved. We talked for a while, and he promised to change his ways. He even helped us organize a workshop on bullying prevention at the school. As time went by, Tyler's behavior improved. He started to befriend some of the kids he had bullied before and became more involved in helping others. It wasn't easy, but it was a start. The consequence, but there was a consequence to all this. The act of standing up to Tyler and the school community had made me stronger. I realized that I didn't have to be a victim anymore. I could take control of my life and make things better for myself and others. I also learned that sometimes you need to take risks to change things. It wasn't always easy or comfortable, but it was necessary. And in the end, it was worth it. The resolution after high school, I went on to college and became a social worker, helping others who were going through similar situations. Tyler and I remained friends, and he continued to support me in my work. Looking back, I realized that standing up to Tyler wasn't just about revenge. It was about making a change for the better. And that's something I'll always be proud of. Epilogue years later, as I sat in my office helping someone who had been bullied, I couldn't help but think about how far I had come. From being a scared and lonely kid to becoming someone who could make a difference, it was all thanks to standing up to Tyler and not giving up. I smiled, knowing that no matter what challenges lay ahead, I would face them with courage and determination.